بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته يا معلمي إن شاء الله تعالى أنت بخير ونعمة. First question, it says, can you clarify something for me please? I was teaching my sons about Tawheed and the subject of Isra wal Mi'raj came up. In this chapter the author said that on that night Jibreel came while Rasulullah was sleeping, opened his chest, took out his heart and washed it in a gold vessel. But wasn't this done when the Rasulullah was a small boy, or did it happen to him twice? I'm a little confused. Jazakallahu khairan wa barakallahu feek. Muallim, Allah yahfadak. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Wa laki bin mithil ya ukhta. I pray the same for you as well, my dear sister in Islam, and my dear student, pupil, and disciple of Hadith. May Allah bless you for your kind words. The answer, inshallah ta'ala, is very simple. But before we get to the answer, we always have to keep repeating it. And alhamdulillah, the sister in this question, she's doing this, what I'm about to say, but she needs to do it more. And we need to say it more. And that is, O you, empty thy cup. Empty thy cup. Rather, some of us, sometimes we may have to smash our cups, break it, get rid of your gauntlet, throw it away, and get a new one. Empty your cup. What you've heard, what you've read, what you've seen, what this sheikh said, what this translation, sometimes there's much, much more to the mystery, to the great mystery. Sometimes there are many, many things, okay, that you haven't heard and haven't read. So being confused and asking the question is an excellent thing. And this is one of the keys to mastery. One of the keys to mastery is asking questions and being confused, because you're basing it off of what you previously read and heard and studied. But there's a balance. And that is, empty your cup. Maybe I haven't studied it thoroughly. Maybe I've only read translations. Maybe the translations were biased. Or the translators, they themselves weren't thorough, erudite students of knowledge, let alone scholars of Islam. So there's a balance. Empty your cup. Empty your cup, empty your cup, as we always say. The scholars of Islam, they differ on this issue. Some of them hold the view that the Prophet ﷺ's sacred noble chest was opened up 4 times. 4 times. Not twice, but 4 times. Some of them say when he was a young boy. Some of them say when he was 10 years old. He was still a young boy, but a little older. Some of them say when he became a prophet and a messenger. And then they say the Isra and the Mi'raj. Some of them say when he was 2 years old. Some say 4. And they say that this was the shaitan's influence on him was totally taken out. And then his chest was split again when he was 10. They say that 10 years old is the beginning of one's perfection. Bidayatul Kamal. That's when you start walking and embarking the path of perfection as a young man. Okay? And then when he became a prophet and a messenger, and then on the Isra and the Mi'raj. Another ulama, they say it was only 3 times. Not 4 times, but 3 times. When he was a young boy, either 2 or 4, some say 4. Then they say when he was 10 and the Isra and the Mi'raj. And others, they say, rather is only twice when he was a little boy and the Isra and the Mi'raj. So many ulama, they say that 3, the number 3 is strong. They say the dalil for that is strong. And some say 4 is strong. And others, they say it's only twice. What's important is they generally agree that it's twice. They agree that it happened twice, unanimously, inshallah. But 3 and 4, some say yes and some say no. So it goes to show you that outside of what we read and study and the translations and the telelinks in this lecture is a world of knowledge, a sea of knowledge. And oftentimes the people that say someone's deviant, don't take from this person, that's not a good translation, we only take from this. Oftentimes you find that you're being hindered and prevented from a wealth of ilm. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best. Question 2. Assalamu alaikum, muallimi. May Allah bless you and be pleased with you. I've heard a few questions come up about waswasa. Supposed to be waswasa or wiswas in your Q&A sessions that you've answered. Alhamdulillah. What I want to know is, what exactly is waswas or wiswas? Doesn't everyone have some kind of whispering that they have to fight against? Doesn't shaitan whisper into the hearts of men, then withdraw? Isn't that wiswas? Or are there these 2 separate things? I hope my question is clear. Barakallahu feek kathiran fi dunya wal akhirah. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ukhti tilmida wa laki kadhalik. Ameen. Your answer is clear. And once more we say again, empty your cup. ask questions, research, become confused, and also empty your cup. We'll say that again. It's a yes and a no answer, like you've mentioned. Shaitan bothers everyone, harms everyone, okay? Plays with everyone, whispers to everyone. Allah mentions this in the Quran. الَّذِي يُوَسْوِسُ فِي صُدُورِ النَّاسِ. He whispers in the hearts of men. مِنَ الْجِنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ. Jinn and men. The Prophet ﷺ tells us about the qareen. He tells us about the one who Allah Azza wa Jal made a Muslim. فَأَعَانَنِي عَلَيْهِ فَأَسْلَمْ إِلَّا أَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَيْهِ فَأَسْلَمْ. And Allah helped me in making him a Muslim. And how many other people can say this? That their shaitan or their qareen is a Muslim. So everyone is whispered, some type of deviation or some type of incitement is given and thrown towards everybody on one level or another. So if that's what you mean by waswas, then yes. But if you mean that a person is dominated and a person is riddled with this waswasa, these whisperings, and day and night, how many rak'at did I make? 3 or 4? I can't remember. Was it 5? Did I pray? Did I pray dhuhr? Did I pray fajr? Did I make salat last week? Am I a Muslim? Did I make wudu? Did I urinate on myself? Did I have, is there seminal fluid in my underwear? Did I pass wind? Maybe I passed wind, I'm not sure. Did I wipe myself when I went to the bathroom? Did I use the water? Was the water pure? Was the water clean? Did the urine splash on my shoe in the bathroom? In the toilet, I touched the handle. Did I make a ghusl from my menses 3 months ago? I overslept, I woke up, I missed this prayer. If that's what you mean, then no, everyone doesn't have this. When the shaitan is quote unquote riding someone's back, whipping them, kicking them with a spur, quote unquote, metaphorically speaking, in which a person is just dominated by these whispers, and a person is living in doubt and unsurety and lack of certainty. Is my wife divorced or not? Is it the 3rd divorce? Is it the 2nd divorce? Is she still? If that's what you mean by waswas, then of course that's only certain people. And for this to happen to a strong Muslim that has a good, healthy relationship with Allah, that reads the Quran daily, that prays on time, that stays away from haram, that eats from halal, that's very, very unlikely to happen. Okay? Someone who has some type of mental disorder, or someone who has a psychological issue, or someone who was raped or molested, or someone who did drugs heavily, or someone who was mentally abused, or someone who doesn't have knowledge of the deen, or someone who isn't practicing 100%, or they are practicing, they are studying, but these things happened before they were Muslim, or when they were young Muslims, that's a different story. That's a different story. So it's a yes and a no answer. So everyone has waswasa from the general way. Shaitan wishes to mislead them and make things seem fair to them. But the person spitting in the salat 2 or 3 times and scratching and itching, am I in wudu? Is my awrah covered? Did I say the takbir? Is the imam? Am I a Muslim? No. That's only specific to certain individuals, certain poor Muslims, that we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to help and to support them and to protect them therefrom. That's in brief, and Allah surely knows best. Question 3 says, Assalamu alaikum Shaykh, may Allah reward you well, Ameen. Is it permissible to use dice in children's games to see who's next or who's counting in the game? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, may Allah bless you as well. I would advise you not to use dice in children's games. I would advise you to stay away from it. And that's because the ulama of Islam, they have a very long issue or a very long debate on the issue of certain games. The hadith Mughira ibn Shu'bah, and Sahih Muslim, if my poor memory serves me correctly, I may be mistaken, and Allah knows best. It says, for sure, the hadith is in Sahih Muslim, that's for sure. من لعب بالنرد فكأنما وضع يده في لحم الخنزير ودمه أو في دم الخنزير ولحمه أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Maybe it's the hadith of Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, I'm not sure, I have to review, Allahu alam. At the end of the day, the hadith is authentic, that's for sure, inshallah. In Sahih Muslim, it says, he who plays with nard, he who uses nard, it is as if he placed his hand inside of a swine, a pig, a hog, and the blood and the flesh of this hog. And one narration says, Man la'iba nard dashir, he who plays nard dashir. So the ulama of Islam, they agree that the Prophet ﷺ forbade playing of nard dashir. Is it haram? Is it makruh? It's a different discussion, but he forbade it. Naha anhu, in this authentic hadith. And they differ on the word nard shir. Is it nard or is it nard shir? And they say that this word is originally Persian. It's a Persian word. It's a Persian word. And they say that this is a game that was played by these people, by the Persian mushriks and the mushriks of the Arabs before Islam, and the Prophet forbade it. And some of them, they say, the modern day ulama, some of them say that what's meant by this game is backgammon. Backgammon. And some of them may even say that it means chess. It means chess, shitranj or shatranj. Some of them may say this. And others, they may say, rather it means dice. To throw dice or a die. A pair of die, say dice. That's what's meant by this. They differ on what exactly is nard shir. Alright, they differ on this. And some of the reasons why nard shir is prohibited, whether it's impermissible or just makruh, they say لأنه يعتمد على الحظ والنصيب, is that it pertains to chance. And it pertains to luck. One's fortune, one being lucky, right? In America, you shoot craps, or some may say CeeLo, right? And you blow the dice. You shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, and you throw the dice. How good are you? Will you get double this, double that, 7-Eleven, so on and so forth? You don't know. You're in casino, you're in Atlantic City or Las Vegas, Nevada, and you throw the dice. And everyone's cheering and, come on, throw the dice, yeah. And you're calling outside, you feel good and you start flicking the dice and you win and you win and you win and get more and more chips. Is it based off of skill or just sheer chance and luck, quote unquote, quote unquote? So the ulama, they differ on exactly what is meant by this. And some of them say that it's prohibited because it's a game that does not involve skill, rather it involves dependence upon al-hadh, quote unquote, luck. And it can lead to a person believing in good or bad luck. And it can lead to a person being connected to other than Allah, etc., etc. Some of the ulama, this is their view, and they say this. All right? So with that being said, and others, you read the explanation of this hadith, and from the most extensive explanation of the hadith is that of Ibn Abdul Barr, rahimahullah, in a Tamheed, and also in Tarh al-Tathrib. This is mentioned in detail with regards to the concept of, are dice included in this? Some may even explain dice. These small cubes, ki'ab, this game of cubes with these dots on it that people use to throw down. Back in the day, in ancient Rome, right, in ancient Egypt, the people, they would use knuckle bones. Okay, they would use the bones of certain animals, the knuckles, or maybe even humans, and that's what they would use. That was their dice back in the day. That's what they would throw around. The ancient Vikings, the Danish Vikings, they had runes. The Germanic tribes, they had runes. They would throw these bones down, right? Chicken bones, bones from a lamb, a goat, a cow, a crow, a raven. The ancient or the old Mongol culture, they would depend upon bones of a white raven to determine, should we go to war or not? Should we fight or not? Should we travel north or south to this feeding ground or these plains or not? They would use these runes, and they would depend upon these bones to determine what they would do. Are we going to make an alliance with the Saxons, or are we going to fight them and invade their country? They would throw the runes down, toss them, see where the bones go, see what side they turn on, and that would determine their way. That's very similar to rolling dice. It's very similar to rolling dice. So some of them, they say that it is prohibited to use dice because of this. And others, they say rather, as long as a person isn't gambling, spending money, wasting unnecessary time, excessive time, etc., then it's okay if certain circumstances, certain conditions in which it's all right. All right? Just like the argument of chess. All right? Can you play chess or not? Is it haram? There are details about playing chess. All right? The point is that some may argue and say that, is the game prohibited just because of chance? Are there other games involved in which chance is used? Or is it just skill? And the argument comes up, can a person be a skillful gambler? Is there a way to shoot dice? Is there a way to throw dice? Playing poker. Is there a skill to it, or is it just chance? You get dealt a hand, or is there a skill involved in poker? in which a person has a poker face. They have a skill. They know what to do with the deck. Allah knows best. Some say that there's a skill involved in gambling and poker. Some say it isn't. Just like archery, marksmanship, there's a skill involved. You have to learn. You have to shoot. And some may argue and say there's quote-unquote luck involved in archery as well. And what's meant by luck is a person being a good shot. He's a natural good shot. Person is light hands, quick fingers, sharp eyes by nature. That is his hadith. That's his portion. You may use the word luck. Person is born to be lucky, and this person was lucky to be born. So that's a very, very, very long discussion about backgammon, about chess, and about using dice. I would tell you to stay away from it. Don't do it. Avoid it. Use other things, other ways. But the argument is going to come up again because there are other things in which you may spin or shuffle, which is also based off of, one may say, luck. Whether it's the lottery ball or one is playing bingo or whatever case whatever you're playing, right? In which someone is turning something or spinning something or flipping something. Rock, paper, scissors. There are many hadiths in which the Prophet ﷺ, كان إذا أراد أن يسافر, whenever he wanted to travel, he had to decide which wife would he take with him. أقرأ بينهن. He would make qur'ah. He would take straws and they would draw straws. He breaks 3 or 5 different pieces of wheat or tree branches, and each branch is of a different size. The one who gets the shortest, the one who gets the longest, etc. One may argue and say, isn't that chance? Does it involve skill? Which woman, does she know which branch is the shortest or the longest? Or she's randomly selecting it. Okay, so is it haram to do rock, paper, scissors? Is it haram to do this? Okay, the Prophet ﷺ, he says, if they knew لو علموا ما في النداء, if they knew the virtue of the adhan and of the first row in the masjid, and as the only way that they could get to it, إلا أن يستهموا عليه لاستهموا عليه. If the only way that they could get to it was to draw straws, pull straws, then that's what they would do. The virtue of these things. Is drawing a straw or pouring a straw, does that involve skill, or does that involve just chance? So the point is that the argument is not thorough and is not conclusive. One may say that just because something involves chance or involves quote-unquote luck, quote-unquote, we know Muslims, what's meant by luck? What do you mean by luck? You mean barakah of Allah, how Allah decrees something? Or do you mean a rabbit's foot or a horseshoe or a 4-leaf clover? It depends on what you mean by the word luck. Okay? So the argument is that it's not necessarily absolute. It's not conclusive that this is haram because it's based off of al-hadith. So I can't say that using dice is haram. I can't say that. I would advise you to stay away from it, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, if you possibly can. And if it's very difficult or it's a huge benefit in you using the dice and it's not clearly proven to be haram, then use the dice. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows what's correct.